I know. Okay. Good morning. Today is March the 16th, 2017. It's Thursday. I'm Michael Wall, and this is We is Kang's Media Channel. So, yeah, hope everyone's feeling good and ready to kick in to some stuff. We want to first say that racism is a mental illness. And I want to make that very clear. It's like we deal with this topic, and a lot of people are like, oh, get over it. And I mean, just a bunch of foolishness. Look, racism is the number one problem on the planet Earth, and we are going to end it. The end of racism, it means a lot, and we're going to get involved with all the details of that. But for now, just know racism is a mental illness. You weren't born sick. You were made sick by your parents and teachers. Um, Let me get off of this Facebook. But look at this here. This is a little excerpt from the scientific racism page article on Wikipedia. We're going to use that to start to go into deeper details about racism, how it was designed, why it was designed, and our ultimate triumph in destroying it. The biological fact of race and the myth of race should be distinguished. For all practical social purpose, race is not so much a biological phenomenon as a social myth. The myth of race has created an enormous amount of human and social damage. In recent years, it has taken a heavy toll in human lives and caused untold suffering. In recent years, it has taken a heavy toll in human lives and caused untold suffering. But race is a fraud, it's a hoax. So all of these people, all this heavy toll of people have suffered and died and all these things, lived in hell for nothing. That's why I'm doing this video media channel, podcast and writing these books because we have to get justice done. The souls and the memory of all these people that have suffered from your inferiority, we have to be compensated for it. Spiritually, if you believe in that kind of thing, socially, economically, in all those ways. Go to your scientific racism link. We're going to do more about that to bring the study material for these videos and stuff. But we're talking about inferiority. I posted up the definition of race and definition of racism is racism was a mask of the inferiority of so-called white people and their children. Racism is a serious mental illness. Then we go into the symptoms. The symptoms are what everybody is talking about. Okay? Prejudice. Oh, prejudice. Discrimination against me. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Those things are symptoms of a serious mental illness. The reason for racism is inferiority on the part of the races. Racism exists only in the mind of the races. And once you understand that, once we understand that, we'll see how to end it. But you say, well, that person so and so called me so and so, or did this, that, and the other. You know, they're racist, blah blah blah. We're going to stop with the whole terminology because it doesn't matter. Once you end racism for yourself, it doesn't matter what the next person does, says, or feels. If they attack you, then you are within all of your human and godly right to defend yourself. As um, brutally as that has to take place. Okay? So the first thing is to get rid of the excuse of racism as if it means something. This is the end of racism. Okay? It means nothing. And I'm looking in the picture, like in the camera. Wait, let's cut. So yeah, this is how we got to do it real quick. I don't want to make these videos too long. I want to kind of zap it in, get to the point, zap it out, so we can go into the research of it and start to make some moves and make some things, get some things accomplished. Okay, so look, let's start it right here. This is a scientific racism Wikipedia article. Okay. And all this stuff it will be posted up on weiskangs.com. Right now the site looks a certain way, but damn, we're gonna fix that. Let's see, what was it? All right, so look, scientific racism. We're gonna start down here. Lord Kangz, however you want to pronounce it, Henry Home. Reason why I want to start here is because it kind of gets to the root of what we're talking about, inferiority. All right, racism is or was a mask for the inferiority of so-called white people and their children because they taught that foolishness to their children. Now look at this. We start with Lord Kangz, with Henry Home, because his belief was polygynist. Polygynist. Poly, meaning like many, genus, genes, and essence, like that right there. So it goes into dude thought that so-called white people and black people or non-white people were made by two different gods, created by two different gods. This, and I start here because this is just the root of complete foolishness. And it's been going on for, hundreds of years, folks. In order to end racism, we have to go into the disease carcass and take out the heart or poison or whatever, because that racism already dead. We have to go in and take out the poison and remove it and wrap that sucker up, embalm it, or whatever you got to do. But we're dealing with the reasons of racism, the gravamen of that institution, show and prove why it was fake, false, and a fraud, and work towards getting the reparations for the people that were hurt, the black people in the United States, and then throughout the islands and throughout the Americas and throughout the world. This is the end. The end of racism is not just for the black people in the U.S. It's for people all over the world. So we have a lot of work to do. So polygynist. Get to that. Polygynist. And then boom, you go to his page, Henry Home, Lord Kangz, right? And it talks about, oh yeah, well he was such a great dude and homeschooled and like everybody's so cool and smart, but he was a filthy, dirty racist, mental illness. It's not like racism means anything. It is a condition of the mind, a dogma that people believe that has them insane. And that's why we're addressing it. So we are on the video number 2 in the scientific racism about inferiority. We're going to prove, like it says on my paper here, like this: racism was the mask of the inferiority of so-called white people and their children. Not, no, you're inferior, I'm superior. It's not any foolishness like that. You can take it however you want, because I'm not really need to apologize to any people about the things that happened in the past with ignorance. Racism was a fraud, and everybody practicing it or have practiced it is guilty. There's a lot of people that need to get paid reparations for all of that, the war crimes, the slavery, the crimes against humanity called slavery, the taking of the land of the black people in the Americas. Black people are from America. Not all black people come from Africa. And that's another thing we're going to get to on our debate. The original Americans are black people. So we have a lot of work to do, and I hope you enjoy it and have fun doing it. We are working on inferiority. Racism was the mask of the inferiority of so-called white people and their children, and we're starting with Henry Home, Lord Kangz, and the idea of polygyny. Uh, Polygynist, polygynism. Oh, now, well, who is God? People are starting to say, well, there is no God. We don't believe in God. Believe in what you want. You're here, and there's a reason why you're here, and a history of how you got here. So now let's deal with that. We're getting to the inferiority, the mask of inferiority. All the best. Racism is a mental illness. This is Michael Wall. We is Kangz is the name of this program, and I hope you enjoy it. Peace.